Alright, let's dive into a story that's equal parts resilience, economics, and a whole lot of irony. Picture this, a tiny parish in Louisiana, once flattened by a hurricane, now sitting on a gold mine, or should I say, a gas mine. Cameron Parish, population 4,700, is transforming from a place of devastation to a global energy powerhouse. But here's the kicker, its rise is tied to Europe's energy crisis and the geopolitical chess game of the 21st century. Let's break this down. First, the hook. Imagine a place so destroyed it looked like a war zone, now on track to become one of the wealthiest counties in its region. How? Liquefied natural gas, or LNG. Personally, I think this is a textbook example of how disaster can seed opportunity, but it's not without its complexities. What makes this really interesting is the global ripple effect. Cameron's LNG terminals, like Sabine Pass, are shipping gas to Europe, which is desperately trying to wean itself off Russian energy post-Ukraine invasion. But here's the twist, while Cameron thrives, Europe's paying through the nose for that gas. It's a win-win for Louisiana, but a costly lifeline for Europe. Now, let's zoom in on the LNG process. Superchilling natural gas to minus 162 degrees Celsius to turn it into a liquid? That's wild. It's like nature's version of a space-saving hack. But what many people don't realize is the environmental toll. Dredging deeper shipping channels for those massive tankers is messing with local ecosystems. Sure, Cameron's median household income has jumped by 25% since 2010, but at what cost? From my perspective, this is a classic case of progress versus preservation. The parish is booming, but the long-term environmental impact is still an open question. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. The U.S. is now the world's largest LNG supplier, with Louisiana shipping 60% of it. 2/3 of that comes from Cameron. If you take a step back and think about it, this tiny parish is now a key player in global energy security. But it's not just about money. Michael Fuel, Cameron's council president, dreams of bringing back the parish's youth with high-paying jobs. That's the human side of this story, a community rebuilding not just its economy, but its future. Now, let's talk Europe. The EU's reliance on US LNG has skyrocketed, with prices surging. Germany, the EU's industrial heart, is feeling the pinch. Households are paying 31% more for electricity, and gas prices are up 74%. A detail I find fascinating is that US natural gas prices are 20 to 25% of what Europe pays. So, while Cameron's terminals are a godsend for the parish, they're a double-edged sword for Europe. This raises a deeper question, is this dependency sustainable? Or is Europe just trading one energy crisis for another? What this really suggests is that energy isn't just about supply and demand, it's about geopolitics, economics, and local communities. Cameron's story is inspiring, but it's also a reminder of how interconnected our world is. Personally, I think the real takeaway here is the irony. A parish once on the brink of collapse is now fueling Europe's survival, while Europe grapples with the cost of that survival. It's a story of resilience, but also of trade-offs. So, here's my closing thought. As we celebrate Cameron's rise, let's not forget the bigger picture. Energy security comes at a price, for the environment, for economies, and for people. What do you think? Is Cameron's LNG boom a triumph, a necessity, or a cautionary tale? Let me know in the comments.